Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. I'm here with Nick from Phoenix Press. How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing pretty good. How you been, John?
Pretty good, pretty good. I can't complain. Now, geez,
Your
what's
neck
going
looks
on?
like you're healing. Your neck looks like you're healing up pretty well.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, yes, I literally broke my neck on July 17th, and been in a neck brace until what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago? I think it's been. I think this is my first full week. Yeah, because I took it off last Wednesday, and yeah, everything's fine. I have no pain. I don't have any loss of movement. The only thing is, I hate to admit this, but I'm scared to drive now.
I mean, that makes sense. That was a traumatic thing.
I don't want to say I'm a reckless driver, but I was always been like, I'll get in front of that guy. I drive like a New Yorker. Now I drive like a little old lady. I got two hands on the wheel. So I've only I waited till the neck brace comes off because I couldn't turn, and I felt like, that was just bad. You know what I mean?
That part I get. That part I fully understand.
So in the week that I took it off, I've driven like 3 or 4 times, and I drove to the doctor, and I'm not as daring as I once was. I guess it'll come back, but do I want it to come back?
I'm not sure it's a matter of want, but more like will it or will or not. Because, yeah, John's got to do it.
Yep. Got to give you a hard time. Yep. Got to give you. Hey, Matt's here too. How you doing, Matt? Good to see you, buddy. How's everything? I guess a little accounting is in order. Monday I paid for all the printing for Heroic Tales, all the varied covers and everything. So I got when you fulfilled. So you're a good guy to ask this.
Yeah.
Do you hand? I forget. I forget the boxes that you sent me because I got issue 2. I got issue 1, issue 2, and I forget if I got 1, 2, or 3 of the Samurai story. So I got a couple of shipments from you. You how do you do it? What do you do? I might as well buy.
I use. There's a question for RJ from Critical Blast. He's the guy who handles my fulfillment.
Yeah, I talked to RJ, but I spent.
If you're talking about Gemini mailers,
I ordered Gemini mailers, and what's funny is since I started doing my comic, I've been saving all my Gemini mailers. So I
smart.
That's like $1, $1 because my comic. Yeah. I don't know what you're on your 5th campaign. Oh, before we start talking about me and my campaign, tell everybody what you're doing. This is your
all right. So I'm here to talk about the 3rd issue of Screecher, A Talon Too Far, which is currently on Kickstarter, raising funds for a print run, and it is burning up the charts. It's looking really, really good. I have it pulled up here if you want me to share it, or you can just pull your magic. All right. Let's just do it this way. I guess this makes the most sense.
Yeah, just so everybody watching knows, I backed Screecher 1, I backed Screecher 2, and I backed Screecher 3. I read 1 and 2. I enjoyed them. What I do like about it is it's small stakes. It's about a girl, her world, her personal world, her father, her family, and I like that. This isn't Thanos destroying the world, although you might have that around issue 12. But And I want to do the same thing with my comic. It's small stake because I think that's
no sky beams.
Not yet. You never know. You're not ruling out sky beams. I'm not ruling out sky beams. But my point is, you're giving me a chance to know the characters in the world.
Yeah.
So that when sky beams do show up, it means something. And I think a lot of people, like issue number 1, they hit the ground running, which is fine. But I don't care when planets blow up and the universe is threatened when I don't even know any of these people. So I appreciate small stakes. And again, that wasn't an insult. I'm saying I like it.
Oh, no. That was by design. I got it down there. There we go.
Oh, you're control. Now I'm like, why can't I move the screen? I forgot you're control. Go ahead.
I am in control. I am the one who goes up and down. But no, I'm usually more of a fan of street level heroics anyway. To me, they're more like relatable. They're more understandable. Easier to grasp. Like Superman punching Darkseid. It's cool.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, but
it's awesome. It's there's a level of abstraction there. a superhero literally going against corporation, fighting in the back alleys. It kind of feels more real, I'm more grounded.
Well, I remember you said that Screecher was kind of inspired by Spoiler from Chuck Dixon.
Batgirl, Spoiler, Moon Knight, a lot of those characters.
Yeah, and I just realized that's Akira inspired, huh?
Yeah, it's the Kira slide.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of the few. I was about to say manga, but then I realized I have to say anime because every time I say the wrong word, I get nasty emails. Anime.
This one's more your speed.
Yeah. Oh, that's Spider-Man.
I get that a lot. I was trying to do Detective Comics 27.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just gonna say either or. This is meant to be Detective Comics 27, but if you get Amazing Fantasy 15 out of it,
I'm more of a Spider-Man guy than a Batman guy. Although I love Batman, but I love Spider-Man. So
I'm just gonna say it right here. If you see Amazing Fantasy 15, that's just as valid. Wasn't my original intention, but if that's how you interpret it, have at it.
What a good thing to be compared to. It's not like they're saying, "Oh, that looks like the back of the cereal box that I hated as a kid." They compared it to a classic. I think a comic book that belongs to be in the Smithsonian Institute preserved. So there you go.
Exactly.
So we were talking about fulfilling. So you hired RJ from Critical Blast to fulfill.
Yeah, he's worked on most of my campaigns, and the guy's worth every penny. I'm just gonna say that he is a professional to the core, a joy to work with, and it's just a lot easier to say, "Hey, RJ, here, take this big pile of cash. You handle this part for me."
Well, that's the big pile of cash. Well, no, we're exaggerating, right? RJ is very reasonable. He's very professional, and he'll probably get everything done within the week. But as I was saying,
he's not cheap, but he's not expensive either. I'm just
he's reasonable. But I'm just trying to cut costs. You know what I mean? I spent way too much money on mine. And here you go. You can here's the link to Screecher number 3, A Talon Too Far, on Kickstarter. Then then this Smithsonian. I told them that they could have my body when I'm dead. Right now, I'm using my body, but when I'm done, they could put me on display. And they told me that they wanted to put me in the front, just like the Museum of Natural History has that big blue whale in the front. They're going to put me in the front, suspended.
You or your long boxes?
Yeah, me. That's what they're going to do. John Byrne? No, this is Nick. Didn't you watch the beginning? That's not John Byrne. That's Nick. I know they both have like a beard.
Oh, you want to see the trailer?
Sure.
Oh, it's really good.
Right, okay, I'll make you big.
My name is Avery Fletcher. And my mission has become me. For too long, my father has sat in prison, a victim of his former employer, Eden Pharmaceuticals. Their leader, Kathleen Johnson, the tip of the spear. And my work to change that continues. Not as the dutiful daughter, but as the winged avenger, Screecher. I have invaded their home, looted their caches, and now I have come close to their source. But like Icarus before me, have I flown too close to the sun? Only time shall tell.
Cool.
I gotta say that never gets old. I've seen that like a billion times, and I get chills every time I see it. It came out so well.
I have a trailer for my comic too that Kyle Prometheus just made and gave to me. I didn't.
Nice.
That was really nice, and I watch it every chance I get. Like this times I watch it. So I know exactly what you're thinking. My camera's a little. There we go. Okay, I don't like it when I'm in one corner. So how long you been working? You've been doing Screeching now for what, 2-3 years?
About that, I'd say. Yeah, kind of releasing like one a year, roughly.
And you alternate with, and I know I'm going to say the number wrong, but 2,100 Samurai?
2100 Samurai.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm sure it's just.
And then, yeah, I've had a really busy year this year. I did Turn Samurai at the beginning. I did my novel during the summer. That was a first for me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that got really success. That actually succeeded its goal by about $200. That's cool. Now I'm doing this thing, and I'm really excited.
Cool. What is this going to fulfill?
Hoping to have this out probably no later than like February or March of next year.
Oh,
Usually there's usually like a 3 to 4 month turnaround for my books, because like it takes roughly 2 weeks or so to get the money. Printing can take anywhere from like 2 weeks to a month, and then from there, let's just say it takes another month for the box, the stuff to get to RJ, and then he sends it out. So roughly that.
Yeah, I got coins and glasses and stickers and everything over here, so I would have to mail everything to RJ, and then he would mail everything back. So I'm just gonna. Plus, it's my first campaign. I want to do it all soup to nuts, see what it's like. Hopefully, my next campaign is so successful. I need RJ. That's my goal. That's my goal.
That's a problem that you want to have.
That's the kind of problem that I want. So I was gonna ask you, like, because I bought like a rolling printer and sticker and everything like that, but I'll ask RJ. It sounds like something he would do.
Some supplies you'll need, because I've done shipping myself. I've shipped out books. Obviously, you got the Gemini mailer. Do you have the bubble wrap?
Yeah, I got bubble wrap. I got Gemini mailers. I got.
Do you have the both types of tape? Do you have the Scotch tape, and then do you have the shipping tape?
Yeah, I got the shipping tape with Heroic Tales written right on it.
Wow.
Like I said, I spent.
You're John Hammond. Spare no expense.
Yeah, except only hire one IT guy, right? Isn't that like the flaw? Spare no expense, but get some overworked fat, IT guy to sell you secrets to the bad guys.
Let's see here. Trying to think like what else you need from a shipping perspective. So as far as shipping them out, you can ship out just the box, or you can put it into an envelope if you really want like that little extra kind of thing.
Well, I'm gonna bag and board them, throw the stickers in. If they got a coin, I'm gonna tape the coin to the back of the cardboard so it doesn't leave an impression on the comic. When the comics physically get here, I'm gonna put out I was gonna say proclamation, but who am I to make a proclamation? I'll put out a statement on all three, because I used for my comic, I used Kickstarter and I used Indiegogo. That if you want me to autograph them, I will. I mean, to me, who the hell am I that you want my autograph? But if you do, you want it. Do you want it inside or outside? And I'll try to accommodate everybody. But Renzo, I can't have, because that means I have to mail it. Takes 2 months to get to Renzo, and then 2 months back. And then, like Renzo said, there's no guarantee that he gets the mail, especially packages.
Yeah, that's a problem with like working with people international. Is if you want to do these, like, have everyone sign the book. Like, for example, my artist is Argentina, my colorist is in Great Britain. Like, it would cost a heck of a lot in just shipping.
Fly them all to your house. Fly them all to beautiful Michigan, and you could get Chicago dogs. You could get all types of cheese. You know what's hilarious? That would probably be cheaper than shipping all the books to those tour places. That would literally be cheaper just to fly them in for a day or something. Put them in a decent hotel room, fly them for a day, pay for their meals, would probably be cheaper than like the shipping to two. I was really, really hoping, maybe I was naive, but in my mind, I thought I was going to hit 10,000. I got just under 8,000. And if that last 1,000, I was going to fly Renzo to New York, like when the comics got here, and then we were going to just sign them all and everything like that. But maybe issue 2. And then, of course, I joked that if I 100,000, I fly everybody that I enjoy talking to, come here, and we role play our characters. Like you would make up Screecher,
I do it. Hey, if you're buying, I'll do it.
Nick is drawing Crom the Destroyer, so he would draw Crom the Destroyer. He would role play as Crom the Destroyer, and just have like a crazy game with Brian Bow being Wolf and Batsy and Fabrizio being Horace H. Hoover, Rini doing one of the crazy people from Fiendish, and then just recording that. I think that would be a blast.
Oh.
But I didn't make $100,000, so
There's always next time, friend.
always next time. Always next time. Do you have any that do you have any like crazy, like if you like a if only stretch goal, like what I mean, like a crazy stretch that you're not going to hit, but wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be fun?
There's definitely like artists that I would hire to work on it. Like I want Scott McDaniel to do a cover for Three Two So Bad. The dude's actually pretty he's reasonable. Like I've looked up his rates. He's actually very reasonable given who he is.
Yeah, I mean, I when I first started, I didn't think I would be able to afford guys like Pat Broderick or Mike Gustovich or Michael T. Gilbert. Yeah, they were. I don't mean to be mean, but they were more expensive than guys in our sphere. But then again, these guys are legends. So the dessert, like I asked Mike Allred, and he was, me and him, he was on my channel. We talked, we got along. He goes, I like you. I'm going to give you a friend's price. And I still couldn't afford it.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Here's my question for you.
Sure.
What comic book artist alive today? Because if we went like dead, there's so many we could do. But let's just keep it to who are alive today. If money was no object, what artists would you have do a cover for your book? And which ones would you have do interiors?
Oh, there's
money is no object.
There's one answer for both of them. John Byrne.
Really?
John Byrne. Second Arthur Adams. If George Perez was alive, George Perez, but in the absence of a TARDIS,
George Perez I would have loved to have him do something.
Wouldn't you love to see George Perez draw Screecher? Wouldn't that be
God, yes.
Yeah.
Like Scott McDaniel is the dream.
Scott McDaniel is a good choice too. Yes.
Well, the thing is, the Dixon McDaniel Nightwing run is like one of my like, how we all have like our pillar comics, the comics that like made us comic fans. That Nightwing run is seminal for me. So to get Scott McDaniel, the guy who drew probably my favorite comic run of all time, to do my character.
What's your favorite run of all time?
The Dixon.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Dixon McDaniel Nightwing run.
Because he also did Teen Titans. I just want to make sure. I don't want to assume.
Well, it's depending on the day when you're asking me. It's either Nightwing or the Perez Wolfman New Teen Titans. It's either
Oh, but the thing is, even in my dreams, I couldn't afford Nick Axe. Because Nick Axe charges more than just money. He wants like companionship. You have to hug him. You have to look him in the eyes and tell him he's beautiful. It gets a little.
There's another artist I would love is Greg Capullo.
Oh yeah, these are all great. Believe me, I wouldn't say no to any of these guys. But give it one choice. Like I go to the John Byrne forum, and right there it says no. I don't even ask me for interviews stuff. I still email. Why not? Why not? You don't get what you don't.
Okay, let's kind of expand this. Let's just go. Alex Ross. Okay, money no object. Obvious. Like that's kind of like a free space. That's a free space.
You know what's the funny thing about Alex Ross is I forget who I was just talking to, but they opened up my eye. I would rather have Alex Ross do the pencils than do that painting. Like do the painting for the cover, and then his pencils for the interior. I would like that better. I think if it was all that painting, I don't know. I think that's too much.
I will say there is one artist. You ever heard of I think it's Mike Mayhew? He does a lot of covers for like Marvel, DC, and stuff. And he has kind of a Alex Ross style. Let me see. All right, I'm going to send you the link to his website in the private chat. You'll see his stuff and you're going to fall in love. I'm just warning you.
All kidding aside, Nick Axe, I have this like mythological story, and when I picture it, it's in Nick Axe's art style. But Nick
all right, so
Nick Axe needs to pay a mortgage in America, so I don't know if I could afford it.
Yeah. I sent you a
okay.
link in private chat.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's
just-
awesome. I'll bring him up when we're done looking at your camera.
But yeah, his stuff is like amazing. He draws like this. Well, the thing is, he draws very beautiful women. You know, and I would love to see him do a take on Screecher.
The joke's on Nick X. After seeing how Renzo drew the patriarch, I hugged him for free. So there you go, Nick.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm just going to bring this down for a second, and I'm going to bring up the artist that you just showed me. I'm not familiar with him, but it looks like he does a Ninja Turtles, which believe it or not, wrong one. It looks like Boomer's
All
got
right.
a book. Boomer's
All
got
right.
a book over here.
I got you, bro. I got this. Just leave it up. I got this.
I got it. There you go.
Oh.
So yeah, so this is his site, number 3. This is really good.
Yeah, just look at like his Emma Frost. His stuff is really good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I see what you mean. It's reminiscent of Alex Ross. It's like Alex Ross and Greg Land, I guess, had an artistic.
Oh, Greg Land. Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he
No,
does
Greg-
really good. Like Mystique, Baroness, his Spider Gwen is amazing.
Oh man, I don't know, but Baroness is like one of the sexiest female characters of all
And he
time.
does it well. He does it well.
Yeah. I hate the character, but I gotta admit he draws her well. Yeah. Oh, I gotta see him do Spider-Man and Green Goblin. That is awesome. Oh, you know what? I really like this because I like when people make Spider-Man look like a guy in a costume. You know what I mean? Like it's like like Todd McFarlane. Yes, I like Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man, but that's not a human in a costume. That's a comic book character. But this looks like a guy in a Spider-Man costume. This is really good. Really good. That is cool. Cool. Thanks for introducing me to this artist.
I remember seeing him on Facebook a lot. He posted a lot of that stuff, and it was really, really good stuff. And I was like, oh, I gotta get the guy.
That's okay, Oscar. Oscar's my colorist for he did Unheroic Tales, which is I'm hoping to ship it within the month because it's being printed as we speak, and he's the colorist for Mary Sue in issue 2, and he's the artist and colorist on Eddie is Doomed, a project that we were up till what, Oscar? What were we up till 3:00 in the morning talking about it last night? So we're like two little kids playing with toys. You know what I mean? I wish Oscar lived right over here so we could,
Yeah, that always happens.
I could doodle things out and then he could crumble it up and throw it away and doodle it properly.
He tell you, oh, John, this sucks. Stick to writing.
No, he goes, that's nice. Let me make it good now.
No. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this magnet and we're gonna put it on the fridge, John, and
Yeah.
that's where it's gonna stay.
A little pat on the head. There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. So I forget if you told me or not. You have an ending plan for Screecher, right? Is this an ongoing or is this like a 6-issue story that you're done? Or
It's an ongoing, but volume 1 ends with issue 4.
okay. So if a new person was to just pick up number 3, would they be a little lost? Do they need issue 1 and 2?
I would say they need issue 1 and 2. Like not completely. I would like to say there's kind of enough context in the issue to kind of figure stuff out, but probably best to read issue 1 and 2.
But you offer issue 1 and 2, right?
Yes, there is a catch-up tier.
There you go.
I always do that.
Yeah. I not mention the names, but one guy I talked to was like, you missed it. And like after we were done talking, I was like, well, I'm not buying your comic at number 5.
Yeah.
And,
That's the thing. Like, the further you go along in this, you kind of have to offer a catch-up tier. Also, the way that I find is having catch-up tiers is I actually get a lot of people to back up the catch-up tiers because as I get more popular, as I get like more people like following me, they're like, oh, I didn't know you did Screecher. Oh, like there's a lot of people for the first time are getting introduced to my comics because every year I have more and more people follow me.
good for you.
That's
Good
more
for you.
people who have not been introduced. So the catch-up tier is very important.
So that brings me to my next question then. Is every issue selling more? Or are you getting more backers, more issues being sold?
They're doing about the same.
Okay. That's
I'd
my
say-
goal. Is every issue to sell at least one more than the issue before.
Well, the problem is issue 1 sell the most, and I see this at cons all the time. Like I've done like 3rd or 4th printings on my issue 1s. Meanwhile, I still haven't sold out of my issue 2 and 3s. That's just the way it is. So, so the fact that I'm still doing similar numbers 3 issues in, I think is a good thing.
Okay, that's good. That's good. What about the samurai comic? You doing? I forget. You're up to issue 3.
Issue 4. I did issue 4. That one did a little bit less than I was anticipating,
Oh,
and I've kind of put it on hold to focus on Screecher because Screecher is the one that people like talk about. Even on the off season, they're like, "Hey, when's Screecher? When's Screecher?"
yeah, I really like Screecher. It's a neat. I have, like I said, it's about a girl, and I don't want to spoil it because this is your comic, but it's a girl
Yeah.
figuring out a mystery that happened in her family, and to me that's something I don't know. I find that to be more intriguing than Thanos wants to destroy half the universe. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like people did enjoy Turn Samurai. Like it's not like,
Oh,
like
I didn't
nobody
say
liked
that.
it.
I didn't say that.
And
Yeah.
no, I wasn't trying to imply that. I apologize if that came across like that. But Screecher is by far like the one that people enjoy, and I'm going to return Turn Samurai at some point.
Oh, good.
But I figure it's best just to focus on getting issue 3, issue 4, and then the trade, because the trade I'm actually going to do a definitive version where I'm going to like add pages, issues 1 and 2, recolor issue 1, maybe fix a few things here or there, and like release a full on trade. Because I'm planning a volume 2 with Screecher.
Okay. Cool. What are you gonna do? Because I know RJ from Critical Blast, he's got like these hookups. He can get you like nice hardcover trade paperbacks, and I'll worry about that when it's time to worry about that. But like, I would love to do like 6 issue, maybe an oversized hardcover edition. That would
One sec. I'm going to turn off my cam. I'll be right back. I got to go grab something. I want to show you something.
uh-oh. He's gonna come back naked. And so let me see. You know what? I will take this time to show my trailer. So how's that?
All right, you do that, sir.
I'm going to show this, and I'll bring that up, and I will make this big, and I will show this trailer. I love that. I like you said, I can watch my trailer over and over and over again.
So we were talking about RJ and the stuff he can do. All right, just kind of waiting on that one. So check this out. I don't know if you knew about this.
Oh, I didn't. Let me make that big. Oh wow, you could knock somebody unconscious with that. Yeah. Oh, I did not know about this. How do you get that?
First off, you have to talk to RJ, and you have to give him your firstborn child if you don't have.
No,
that.
how would I buy that from you? How would I get a copy?
Oh, that's the best part. These are available through Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Walmart, like lots of places. You buy it, and they ship these directly to you. They got a bunch of different formats too. Like this is a hardcover. God, I feel like a salesperson right now.
I know, but you got to be your own. Stan Lee ain't here to do it for you, you know.
Yeah.
Oh.
So these collect the first 2 issues, which were kind of like, which were basically like their own like storyline in here. Plus, whenever I do re-release these in like the trade, I'm actually going to redraw issue 1. So these serve as a nice like little archive of the old versions.
And it's good because you said they go through Amazon, so you could get these in Europe, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Again, I'm going to be talking to RJ, but right now, let me do issue number 1, 2, maybe around 3 or 4 issues, because each one of my comics is self-contained. So I think 4 issues, depending upon how many pages, is a good way to.
Well, plus with you, I believe the page count on your issues are a lot longer, because like mine are like 20 to 24 pages. I believe you have a longer format.
Yeah, mine are 30, 36 pages, including cover, inside cover, back cover, outside back cover.
Yeah, so your 4 issues are probably more of equivalent to mine, like 6 or 7, essentially.
But like I said, that's I always tell my wife it's not time to worry about that yet. So we'll worry about that later. And we got Zektan with the drive-by blessing. I actually get like nervous when I don't get the blessing from Zektan. I'm like, is it gonna happen? Is he gonna bless us? Like you start to get like a self-conscious.
I get that.
I was like, what is this big old screen? This is how to get this on Amazon. So I will put this gigantic link for people to click on.
No, I do apologize.
No, that is not the code that will download the Doomsday quotient on your computer.
It is not the anti-life equation.
It's funny. That's what I was trying to say, but my old man brain couldn't think of an anti-life. It's funny. I was thinking like in Heroic Tales, like to make like a goof on Darkseid, and like what would my goof be looking for? And I was thinking the status quotient. So he, instead of the anti-life occasion, he's looking for the status quotient that returns everything back to normal.
All right, so I'm going to run this link through Tiny URL, make it a little more manageable for your audience.
That's too long a link for Marcus. Yeah, I'd have to give him a raise.
All right.
Marcus, I double what I pay you now. How's that?
All right, let me just see if I can just post it myself. Let's see what happens. Yep, nope, I don't have the privileges. I'll just put in Ref yet.
StreamYard won't let anybody because then you never know which crazy person is.
Yeah. I totally get it. I just figured, hey, I'll try. But there's a more manageable link for everybody.
Yeah, I know Amazon has a small shareable link. There you go. Tiny Earl. That would be a great superhero character. Tiny Earl. Like he's like maybe he's stuck at small size. Tiny Earl. He's a computer repairman who's stuck at miniature size.
Oh God!
So now that I don't want to spoil it, but today I saw Dave Brink posted a character that I'm like, damn, he did it again. He got out a character that I was kind of in development with, So has that ever happened to you? Did you ever see like did you have to change Screecher from something else because somebody else made the original name? Oh, good for you. But every time Dave Brink from Top 10 puts out a new comic, I bite my teeth. Am I going to have to rewrite a whole issue again? I joke that he has my room bugged and he's stealing the names. But superhero names are tough. Do you have a method or a theory or because, again, superhero names are tough. And I think like bad names are coming out. Like I still hate names like Cable. That's just the worst superhero name ever. Or Isom,
Well, for me, I can tell you the process I did with Screecher. So I wanted something simple yet evocative.
Right, that's the best.
But also, I kept in my head the character Preacher. Okay. And so I knew it was owl based. So it was like going through like the different owls, like barn owl, horn owl. And I thought, like, Screech Owl. Screecher. Like, what does a Screech Owl do? They screech.
Right.
They're a screecher. And so that kind of informed things, like an owl-based character who uses sound to, like, stun the opponent before, beating the stuffing out of them. It was a very kind of organic process, if you will.
I talk about this all the time. The people who watch me are probably sick of it, but I always say that it's from the name, everything else is derived. And I think Screecher is, for my rules, you don't have to follow my rules, but for my rules, it works. You got Screecher, and then the costume evokes owls. You know what I mean? It's got as few lines as possible. I think that's like such a comic book thing. Is
Oh god! Oh no! It's an MCU problem, really. Like,
right?
My God, they add so many lines to those costumes, and I want something simple.
Right, simple, and then her powers. She's acrobatic, and then yet she has some sort of sonic technology devices. It's perfect. It works really well. Yeah. I think it's a good, well designed character. And then,
simple and efficient is kind of the name of the day.
I'm sorry.
Simple and efficient.
Yes, simple and efficient. Yeah, with superheroes anyway. When we're talking about fantasy characters, those are different rules. Sci-fi is different rules, but superheroes. If the name doesn't make sense, then the character doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and while yes, I did kind of like take some inspiration from like other owls. Like for example, the ears are like Great Horned Owl. Like obviously those are from there, and I was kind of doing some like barn owl kind of stuff with the face. But honestly, at that point, who cares? They're all different versions of owl.
Right, but Batman is not named after a specific bat. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
he's not after like the fruit bat. He's not named after the African what I don't know names.
Oh yeah, there you go. If they're gonna turn Batman gay, they could call him the fruit bat. There you go.
Don't give them ideas. Do not give DC editorial ideas.
There you
it's
go.
Bad enough we have Zenara, who's walking Pride Month.
There you go. I'm trying to think. There's some cool there's the harpy owl. There's some cool you could, because every hero has like their anti-hero that's kind of like them but slightly different.
Well, with Screecher, the way I did that is I made her for Shiva, she's a tiger.
I don't think
reason
owls and tigers get along too well, so that works.
No, but from her with Shiva, she's of Indian heritage, so I went with a tiger because there's a lot of tigers in India, kind of thing, or at least that's the cultural conception, and like they basically kind of came to the same conclusion, but took very different steps to get there. Like that's kind of the whole thing. Like they're both very similar, but they took different ways.
Well, that's right. Look at all the heroes. Well, Superman, his greatest hero is Lex Luthor, who's like the exact opposite of him. No powers, all intellect and everything like that. But like Batman, some of his best villains, Ra's al Ghul, they're all street level fighters. Batman is supposed to be an intellectual hero, although they're getting farther and farther away from that as times go by. Like Batman's a problem solver, so like
with mine, I kind of took a different approach. I basically made them the same, cut from the same cloth, yet they took wildly different paths in life, and yet they both ended up at the same goal. And that's kind of the whole thing. Is they're very similar. They had they even trained together when they were a kid.
Yep.
I'll just say in this issue, I go a little more into the backstory of them too, and
good.
Both their fathers. You get some revelations.
Oh, good. Now, I always like to on Friday nights I do a show called It's Clobbering Time, where I pit characters against other characters. Who would you like to see? It's Screecher verse, and It's Clobbering Time. An imaginary comic book, classic misunderstanding. So the heroes fight, or classic she fights. So who would you like to see Screecher?
Well, off the top of my head, Daredevil would be interesting. I think she actually might have a shot against Daredevil, if only because of her her sonic screech would really paralyze Daredevil.
Yeah, especially somebody with superhero, right?
Yeah, so I think like that kind of evens the playing field, because Daredevil is like a top tier martial artist, but like a weapon like that, Daredevil's kind of gonna have some problems.
Well, also she's a rookie at this point. She's making a few rookie mistakes and learning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially in this issue. This issue, I kind of set it up to where her arrogance and her pride kind of get the better of her in this issue.
See, I like that. Well, I realized what I was saying was backwards. I can't stand when the superhero gets hit by the lightning. Now they have lightning powers and they instantly master the powers. I like when there is a learning curve. You know what I mean? I like when, and I paradoxically, my first issue was seeing the patriarch. He's been a hero for 20 years, but then I'm going to go back to his origin and show you the stupid mistakes that he made. You know, but I like what you're doing. You come out, she's getting her powers, she's going off a mission, and she's kind of, you know, like a D&D character at the first level, like fumbles and which
let me just cast fireball into in the shop. Right. Oh, the shop blows up with you in it. Roll the character.
You realize that the fireball expands, you know. do you read Dresden Files at all? Harry Dresden?
No, I've heard of it, but
okay.
I haven't read it.
You just reminded me of that he's a wizard in real life in the book, but him and his friends play Dungeons and Dragons, and he always plays a barbarian when they're playing Dungeons and Dragons. He's like, why would I be a wizard in a fantasy game? I want to be a barbarian. And then the nerdy guy, who's really a werewolf, plays a wizard, and he's always throwing fireballs. And Harry's like, that's a stupid idea because the fireball, like he's explaining how they work in the real world, and they don't want to play with them because he's like that actually guy.
Have you seen the YouTube series One for All?
No, what is this?
It's like a YouTube where they do like little skits with D&D. They've got like this character. There's like Nixie, a tiefling sorcerer, who's like fireball, fireball, fireball. like Arntrius, the bard who just wants to shag everything, and then Avandra, the half elf warrior, you know, not kind of thing. It's really funny. I like it.
Have you seen on YouTube Fear of Girls?
No, because I don't fear girls.
No, but that's the point. It's two guys who just play Dungeons and Dragons all the time, and like because they're kind of scared of girls, but they act like they're not. It's really, really funny. It actually came out before YouTube, and then they actually incorporate that in Fear of Girls #3. Like, yeah, we gambled on the wrong server. I forget what was the competitor to YouTube that nobody even remembers, but it's actually pretty funny. I think they did 4 or 5 episodes. #2 is one of the funniest role-playing skits ever done. Fear of Girls #2. So I recommend that if you're.
I think you should check out One for All. It's really funny.
Send me a message, otherwise I'll forget, and I'll send you a message for Fear of Girls. Now, of course, now you know I'm going to ask this question: Do you play Dungeons and Dragons on role-playing games?
I have in the past. I don't really do that much anymore. It's mostly because I can't find a table. But let me. Okay.
What did you play? What kind of characters did you play?
All right, one sec. I'm grabbing my cred. Let's just say that.
Marcus, what do you mean by not absolute Batman?
Yeah, I don't like I took one look at the cover. I was like, no.
I just don't like it because you got your Crown Royal bag full of dice. Yeah, there you go. That's such a gamer thing. You know, let me go get a gamer bag, and it happens to come with a bottle of booze. What is that?
Yeah,
it's in there.
Oh, that's Elf Archer. The characters in one of my campaigns. Let's see here. In like the mid 2010s, I had a first edition campaign where I played a fighter. That was pretty cool. I've done like elf archers. 5e, I really like doing paladins. Paladins are really fun.
I like paladins. I like the restrictions on it. You know, it forces. Again, I'm a weirdo. I think like restrictions cause creativity. Like,
well, my thing is a couple things. I love Smite. Like my favorite thing is you roll a nat 20, and then you add Smite to it. It is like the best thing ever. Also, like lay on hands. Each digit is like a number you can do. That's like a really fun spell. But yeah, paladins are really fun. You're basically like a healer tank kind of thing. It's great.
Yeah, I've played pretty much, I've been playing for so long. I tried to play every character, but I haven't been a player character in any role playing game. And I'm going to say 30 years.
Yeah,
Now,
for me,
yeah.
I like playing Rangers. The animal companion, like basically a Ranger is like this perfect Venn diagram of druid and fighter.
Right.
With you know, like they can do some druidy spells. The animal companion, obviously, you know, I love that kind of stuff. But like, you know, they use the bow. They can use a sword if they want. It just kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none kind of class. I really like Rangers.
Did you ever run a game?
I tried a couple one-offs. They never really. They went okay.
It's tougher than you think, right? Yeah. Could know anybody who could do it, and because my wife even she says the same thing. I'll have the guys over, and we play like we haven't played as much lately, but we'll play on a Friday night, and I get home from work before her, and she'll come home and be like, "What's the matter? You seem like you're in a bad mood." I'm like, "No, it's game night." Like I get nervous because I always feel like it's up to me that these 4 or 5 guys. They're giving up a Friday night, and I got to make an entertaining game. Like I feel the pressure, so I take it seriously. I get real. She goes, "You still get stage fright?" I'm like, "Yeah." I go, "The day that I don't get stage fright is the day that we're gonna have a really bad D&D session."
I will say, if you sat me down at a table and said, "Okay, Nick, create a character," I'd probably do Ranger. That's basically my go-to. Like if I don't know what I'm gonna play, I do Ranger because they're kind of like that. Beautiful jack of all trades. Plus, like I always prefer to be ranged DPS because I prefer to kind of be a little bit out of the you know the thing a little bit. Even when I'm playing like MMOs, I always prefer range because you know like the chaos of being right in front of there. It's being a little back. Like okay, I can move around a little bit more. I can see things. That's just how I like to do it. Even in shooters, I usually do like a sniper kind of thing.
Now I mean, me and my friends, we play a superhero game called Villains Vigilantes. And sometimes I set it in a fantasy world. But so if you were to come to my table and I say, "Okay, Nick, we're going to make up a character. What kind of superhero character would you want to be? Would you want to be a street level Daredevil, Batman type guy, a cosmic level Quasar, Green Lantern kind of guy?" Well, you know, because Villains Vigilantes allows for all of that. Which is the biggest criticism of the game. It's not balanced. But to me, that's the biggest draw of the game is it's not balanced. You can have Superman on the same team with the Wasp, which happens in comics. You got Thor and the Wasp on the Avengers and nobody complains.
I would probably say I'd probably create like a Tony Stark character.
Oh, like an inventor or a guy in armor?
Both. Inventor, guy in armor kind of thing.
That's a cool, yeah. And I don't want to give up the name of my Tony Stark inventor kind of character because then Dave Brink's going to make another comic book. I wanted to address what Marcus said because I was talking about how Batman's an intellectual hero, or at least he's supposed to be, at least my idolized version. And he said, not absolute Batman. I didn't understand. So he clarified. He said, not that Batman is a brute, not smart. So I don't like that because I like Batman to be intelligent. We have a lot of dumb brutes, guys. Batman is the world's greatest detective, not the biggest punch in the face.
Well, the problem is when it comes to like movies, video games, I think the Arkham games kind of got the detective thing kind of right, but it's not very exciting to do the detective. Like the closest I think we've gotten to Detective Batman was probably Robert Pattinson's version.
Yes, and I caught hell for saying that I liked it because it was the closest to real Batman. And people are like, "What are you crazy?" I'm like, "All right, what do I know?"
I mean, I like the movie. It's not my favorite version of Batman. I'm a Keaton fan. Even Keaton, like, was a detective to a degree, not as much. But
I didn't like Keaton. Was to me the worst Batman because I know everybody likes it because he dropped the bomb. He drove in the Batmobile, dropped the bomb, and blew up a plane. That's not how Batman operates. So the second movie, machine guns came out of the Batmobile and machine. That's fundamentally not understanding Batman.
Well, you're welcome to have your opinion. We don't have to agree.
That's it. You're off my show. No, you know, I will say that there hasn't been a comic book accurate Batman movie yet, live action. You know, Mask of the Phantasm and stuff. That's Batman.
Yeah.
But I don't like the absolute Batman, even if because I don't want another version. Make this version. Make the main Batman good.
To my opinion, I took one look at the logo, and when there's like, oh, it's an axe too, it's like, it's so cringy. It is so cringe. Like, dude, that is so not Batman. Come on. And like the proportions are all whack. It's basically, it looks like a Todd McFarlane reject.
Yeah, all right. Or Frank Miller reject, even. I know everybody's mad at your boy Zach. I still listen to him, even though he's trying his hardest to not make me a fan. I'm pulling myself away, kicking and screaming because I am loyal,
Yeah.
But he did make a good point. He's like this is Batman's last gasp because what was he 10 years away from now? He's in the public domain, and Mark Miller is going to make Batman stories, and they're going to be awesome. So this.
Here's the problem, and this is when people say Batman in the public domain or Mickey Mouse in the public domain. That's only really half the story. Their original versions are in the public domain. So the version from 1938 is and the thing about Batman is
the purple gloves.
His mythos. Yeah, like his mythos has been added. Like for example, the Batcave was from the serials in the 40s. Batgirl came from the 60s. Hell, Robin wasn't even introduced until a year later.
Right.
And you have to do that version of Batman. Now, don't get me wrong. Once he's public domain, Screecher will meet that version of Batman.
See, okay. So you I'm being silly right here, but like, you could put Mickey Mouse in your comic right now if you so choose. The original Steamboat Willie. Now, are you interested in public domain characters?
I am.
I'm being silly by saying Mickey Mouse, but you know what I'm talking about.
I am. I think they're fun to play with. I actually wrote a 5-issue miniseries about a Robin Hood character in modern day. Because I love the mythos of Robin Hood, because it's endlessly fun to toy around with it. Like, meticulous. The archetypes are so universal and evergreen. It's just fun to be like.
I didn't expect. Good job. Because I was thinking of like, the Fighting American and all of those, early superhero characters. But you went back to like classic literature of Robin Hood.
He's the first superhero. Robin Hood's the first superhero. Like, I'm just gonna say it. Robin Hood is the original superhero.
I'm not going to respond. I'm going to give this thought, but my gut says that you're right. But every time I respond with my gut, I'm always wrong. But
he did vigilante justice, robbed the rich, gave to the poor. He fought the king. He basically acted like a superhero. The Green Arrow is Robin Hood and all.
He wore a costume and he had a secret identity because he's really Robin.
He had a secret lair. Sherwood Forest. He had a bat family, if you will. All of the stuff we take for granted with superheroes was started with Robin Hood.
That's a good point.
Because Robin Hood dates back to the 1500s. Right. That's why he's the original superhero.
Here's a trivia question: What was the first appearance of Robin Hood?
That there's some nuance to that question. You talking about like the first appearance ever, or
in literature?
Oh gosh, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head.
Ivanhoe by Dumas. Robin Hood shows up, but he was a legend already. You know what I mean? So like legend, there was stories of a guy named Robin Hood.
Yeah, as far as I believe, the first version that like codified the original version of his lore that didn't come around till like 50 years later or something. Like there's like a book of short stories of Robin Hood that kind of codified him in a pretty close way to the way we know now.
But yeah, I pretty much can't argue with you that he might have been the first superhero.
Actually, I know about that. I think it's Austin McConnell. Really, the guy gets interesting videos.
Oh, you talk about Zach Dad's comment over here, public. Yeah. Zach Dad, if you could send me a link to these videos, I'd be curious to watch it because I am fascinated with like Alan Moore's League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Making literary characters as super teams. And I've got like one from the 70s with like Kojak and
I want to tell you the one that I actually cooked up my own version.
Okay.
So it's called Order of the Unknown, and it is essentially League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, The Next Generation. It takes place in 1910 in New York, and it stars Otto Van Helsing, who is the grandson of Abraham Van Helsing. Okay. There is Timothy Harker, the younger brother of Jonathan Harker. You kind of get like the
Right.
the theme here.
So this is like Saved by the Bell, the next class.
That's one way to put it, I guess. But yeah, they go on like different adventures and whatnot. But here's my really big twist. So I actually do have like a whole like supernatural part of my universe carved out. Like I have like a Highlander with werewolf story planned out. But anyway, so in my universe, do you want to know who the big bad of my
Sure.
the supernatural side? It's the elder vampire, Mina Harker.
Okay.
So basically, what I plan on doing is I'm actually going to release a graphic novel. It's going to be called Dracula: Origin of the Unknown, and it's going to be the Dracula novel, but I'm going to rewrite it as the Origin of the Order of the Unknown. And at the very end, like Dracula's begging Mina to bite him to finish the transformation. And in the original, she doesn't, but in this version, she does. And
Well,
she
you gotta
kills
get, you
Dracula.
gotta get this out quick before Dave Brink puts it out in Genuine Comics, because every time I have a good idea, he beats me.
Oh,
to it.
he can try and steal this idea. I have this.
I'm just
story to pull
joking.
back to.
Dave is the best. I only tease guys that are the best. So don't get mad at me, everybody. I'm just kidding. My Renfield in my graphic novels is the son of R.M. Renfield and Dracula. Oh, from Dracula. I thought you meant N. Dracula. I was like, vampires got other powers I don't know about. And a member of his vampire squad is Felix Van Helsing, grandson. Yeah, these are fun. I always would like poor Frankenstein. I love the novel Frankenstein. I like Dracula, but I love Frankenstein.
Mhm.
And this poor Frankenstein goes up to the North Pole, falls into the ice, and I would love it if he came back. You know, Marvel played with that they found him in the ice, stuff like that. You know, the Captain America.
Well,
eyes.
Frankenstein is public domain, like
Right? Yeah.
But the problem is,
Thank
the
you, Don.
book is, but the Universal version, which is the one we all know about, that one I think is still in some quasi like right stuff, because like the bolts on the neck, the green color, the James Whale makeup, like the version of Frankenstein that we all know, that is not. I still think that one actually is owned by Universal to a degree.
Yeah, that's why they're still Universal monsters. Like, yes, you can make a Frankenstein creature because that book is over a century old.
But if you put the bolts in the neck,
but
if
you
you color
can't
his skin
make that
green,
book.
you get the flat top. Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin's backing me up over here. When John and I lived together, we couldn't have an idea without seeing it in a movie or a comic book. A couple of months after speaking, I thought, yeah, we used to joke that we were bugged, and I remember reading a comic book coming out, and I'm like, Kevin, this is proof that we are bugged. We got to search the house. We just did a superhero story where Kevin's character was a superhero. He was the leader of the superhero team, and a satellite fell to the earth, and it crashed, and this undead monkey came out. The Russians put up a monkey in the 50s. He was in the Van Android, absorbing cosmic radiation. He died, but the cosmic radiation made him an undead, and he was the monkey god. And he crashed, and and he was this undead cosmic monkey. And Kevin's team had to go off him. And then I read this Vertigo comic called The Minx. Guess what they had? Almost word for word. I'm like, Kevin's like, this is unbelievable. Like I said, we're being bugged. There's no other explanation. Stranger Things ripped off the Upside Down for me. I have proof in my forum that I had the Upside Down years before Stranger Thing. That's why I just spent $400 keeping that forum running. So when I do have it debut at a comic book, people can be like, no, here's the link to show you that I invented the Upside Down before Stranger Things.
Well, I will say
we're bugged. It's pretty boring now because I just sit here and talk to myself. So thank you. Yes, Valerie Duar. I still say her name wrong. Valerie.
She is such a cool person. I've been
so
like Twitter friends with her for a while.
For a while, but she was deathly shy. So I'm so glad that she chose me to make her come back.
I mean, given like what she's been through in the comic book industry,
Yes.
like I've read her post. I do not blame her for being the way she is. Like,
and
honestly,
we didn't even.
she's stronger than I am. She is a lot stronger than I am. She put through a lot of crap.
Yeah, we
And
barely touched.
I'm not sure.
Stories.
if I could handle stuff as well as she did. So hats off to her.
I'm working on a vampire girl for book 3, Annabelle, based on the haunted Raggedy Ann doll instead of a ghost. Ooh, that is creepy. You know what? I hate you because I'm scared of Raggedy Ann dolls in the best possible light. Now you're going to turn them into vampires? Grey Wolf, I hate you, and I hate everything about you.
Oh, that reminds me of this one Twilight Zone episode with like the killer
Tony
talking
Savalas.
doll.
Tony Savalas with Talkie Tina. It's the scariest Twilight Zone.
My name is Talking Tina, and I'm going to kill you.
Oh my god, I just got scared just because, even though it's you doing those, that scared the crap out of me for 30. Well, I'm 56, so I must have been 6 when I saw that. So for 50 years, I've been scared of Talkie Tina, and now I hate everybody. So there you go. As soon as Screecher's public domain, I'm going to make the absolute version. There you go. A 500-pound lesbian named Bob who seeks to avenge her dead hamster Matilda. There you go.
You're going to be waiting a while, sir.
80 years. Go.
Well, it's 80 years once I die.
That's right. It's lifetime plus 70 years. Is that the law?
I think it's like 70, 90 years. It's or whatever.
Back to public domain. So I forget. You said Robin Hood. You said Robin Hood. And that threw me for. That's a good one because I really don't want to use anybody else's characters, but I could see having a character based on Robin Hood. You know, to me, I don't know, like having a character based on a mythological or legendary character. That's fair game.
Well, Robin Hood is a character that's not really owned by anybody,
right? It's back in legends. It's like having a character inspired by King Arthur.
Yeah. Like even using someone like say Frankenstein, that's Mary Shelley's character. Yeah, she's been dead for 150 years. Or Bram Stoker, been dead for like 100 years or so, but it's still somebody's character.
Yeah, Green Arrow is based on Robin Hood. Absolutely.
Yeah, my version, I actually backported a lot of the Green Arrow stuff to my Robin Hood.
I have a horror comic that I would love to do, and Nick X, who's been in the chat, would be perfect art for it. And it's going to be vampires are monsters. They're scary. They're horrible. They pretend to be romantic so that dumb people like, oh, I want to be a vampire. But they're horrible, evil, manipulative monsters. And it might be my first, like, not safe for work comic, because if you're going to do vampires, it can't possibly be safe for work. Unless you make it Twilight. And nobody wants that. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Hawkeye, not so much. Robin Hood, yeah. Hawkeye, not so much. But Green Arrow, and even Robin is a little bit Robin Hood, you know, a little bit
in a way,
a little bit red-chested Robin. But for real, the Screecher kicks ass. There you go. Don has a comic coming out. I've read a couple of pages of his script. I'm rooting for him. Don's available for art, and Don, you were doing a cover for. Am I allowed to say it? Am I allowed to say?
Yes, you are.
Okay, he did a cover for you. Oh,
yes, he's currently working on it. It's coming along really well.
I didn't know that. I thought he did somebody else too. So I didn't want to say anything. Nick sent me some issues to read so I could understand the character. Oh, geez, it's in the comments. Shows you didn't read the comic. Great writing, great art. The Don seal of approval. And Don, message me. We got to set up for you to come back on my channel. I'm more interested in settings and characters like a good setting. So that just brings us to back to Screecher. Where is the setting? Is it on the Death Star on the moons of Jupiter?
It's set up in a town 50 miles away from the Patriarch.
Oh, it's in Arizona.
No, I'm just yanking your chain. No, it's Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yes,
modern day. It's 2019, set in 2019, but modern day essentially.
Yeah, so it's not a fantastic setting, a realistic setting, and a real world, you know, which I do like. I have a fictitious city in the real world. Science City is a new city built out by Yuma in Arizona. Like, I'll get into that somewhere around issue 2. Issue number 1, I don't really get into it that much. Anything you want to say? We've been talking a little over an hour, and sometimes I talk too much. I forget to let my guests talk.
Well, if you like what you see here, please feel free to back Screecher. We are over halfway there, and I just want to thank everyone for getting me here so far.
Show us the tiers before we go. Show us what.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're very close to overused meme status. So We are very close to being over $900 funded. Just putting that out there. But here's what I got for you guys. So for $5 is the digital tier, which you get a digital copy of issue 3. $10 is the digital catch-up tier. I didn't have this one originally, but I got some feedback saying like some people wanted like a digital catch-up tier, so that's why I added
That's
that.
a good idea.
So, yeah, and like you got 3 issues. If this one's 5, it's like a $15 thing for 10. It's a pretty good deal. $20 is what you need to get like just the actual book, and I have the 2 different covers labeled here, same price. Also, domestic shipping is
so we can see it. There you go.
Yeah. Also, domestic shipping is free. International is $15. Just putting it out there. For $30, what you get, I love that you can scroll separately. That is so cool.
Yeah, I always.
You get the stickers, and you get some trading cards. You get that for $30 along with the physical book. $50 is for the catch-up tier. For those who haven't encountered the book before but want to catch up, you get a physical of all 3 plus prints of issues 1 through 3, as well as a cover variants. So like issue 2 we did a cover variant, here we get a cover variant. You get both. And then for $100 we have the special collector edition, where you get the Talent edition, where everything that I've said so far, the stickers, the cards, the prints, the catch-up tier, you get everything, including the special Talent edition, which is spot foil, and you get your name in the back of the book, and that's for all editions. So like the regular edition, you'll go back, oh, here's the Talent edition people. You get your name in the book. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. As I choked to death on nothing. Yeah, I enjoyed the book. I'm looking forward to the next issue.
Oh, you're going to enjoy it.
Oh, good.
It was originally going to be 20 pages, but I got some feedback regarding like, oh, there needs to be more backstory, there needs to be some more action. So I added 4 more pages. And so yeah, this will be 24 pages, and it'll go more in the backstory, there's some more action. And yeah, we are almost done with the book. Right now, we've gotten inks up to page 20, colors up to page 15, and letters up to page 10. And right now, the artist is working on... Okay, this cover was done by Irene Illustrates. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her work.
No.
She is amazing, as you can tell. And this one was done by friend of the Phoenixes, Princess Krogan. She actually did the alt cover for issue 2 as well, and does amazing art. All right.
Yeah. Cool. All right. We're gonna close down now because I have to go to RJ's channel, RJ from the 4th Age, not RJ from Critical Aid, Critical Blast. And we have our comic book team up over if YouTube the 4th Age, and I'll be there. I don't know who the guest is, and that's at 8:30. So I'm gonna wolf down my dinner and then be with RJ from the 4th Age. So good luck, Vic. Good luck, Phoenix. Good luck, Nick.
All right.
To have you. You're one of the first people to ever come on my channel. So,
Awesome. And I just want to say you've come so far, sir. You've had a lot of success, and you deserve it. You're a great man.
Thank you.
You really bring people together, and you do have an awesome long box collection.
Oh, I like my long box. Yeah, and you showed, guys, he showed me his short box before we went live, just so you know. Know.
Oh, you mean this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was telling you this for the stream. John actually inspired me because I had some trades, but John actually inspired me to get into floppy collecting. So I bought a short box as a starter, and so this is all John's fault.
It's next thing you know, your whole house is going to be overwhelmed by comic book boxes. It happens, and it happens faster than you think. But thanks a lot, everybody.
You speak from experience. All right.
I'm like forgetting how to do. Thanks a lot, everybody. I'll see you. And in a half hour or actually 20 minutes from now, I'll be on the 4th Age. So YouTube, the 4th Age, you'll find me and RJ from the 4th Age. All right, bye-bye, everybody.